most of the blacks that fit this description that I'm talking about now in these pockets of our nation, they come from black church tradition. They know about, if you ask them, does God exist, or do they believe in God, or have they heard of God, or do they know anything about righteous behavior? They're not so far gone that they don't know what that's about. They've heard these things. This is a part of our life, but we have degenerated to the point, well, that's not even, it doesn't shape our behavior. It doesn't shape our thinking anymore. The spirit over this group of African American people is the spirit of the age of ignorance, pagan culture. The stripper culture is very big in places like Miami and Atlanta and in Tennessee, the state. I'm saying the whole state, not necessarily the whole state of Georgia, but definitely in Atlanta. These centers in stripper culture, the culture of strippers, it influences hip hop culture. And hip hop culture even influences the college campuses. It influences our young people in the high school. And you all don't have to take my word for it. If you don't know it already, just look around and see. And the spirit of stripper culture, the spirit of the dominant rap music that's dominant. I'm not speaking about, again, I've said this on this channel before, you always get a few people who hip hop was designed to express our consciousness. Nobody listens to those people like that. When I'm around young people, and when I hear what they play, they're not listening to these conscious guys. They're not listening to food for thought. They're listening to the sexy red type, the drill rap, the again, sex, drugs, murder. That's what they're listening to. And if we can't admit that, then we're really not prepared to engage in any manner of reform. Like if you come to the doctor and say, hey, doctor, I got a problem. The doctor has to be able to properly assess you to see, okay, what's really hurting you? What are you really engaged in? If he's going to be able to prescribe anything of use. And we have to just admit, there's no more KRS-Ones. And if they are, no one knows about them in a major way. We know about, and not only this, look, when you go online and you see what trends, like I use Sexy Red, that's just was on my mind. When she came out with that song Pound Town, I'm not going to recite the lyrics here. In the future, I'm going to have some lyrics. I'm going to read them. But that's the introduction. Go look up Pound Town. Go look that song that Cardi B came out with. Read the lyrics. There's nothing that you there's no redeeming value in that at all. And understand that this language trends. Like I'm on TikTok and I need somebody to take me to Pound Town. Oh, I can't wait tonight so I can go to Pound Town. Oh, I'm about to go on my girl's house and take her to Pound Town. We accept the behavior. We accept the language. We are like when these things are introduced to us, we accept that introduction and it forms our nature, not our nature, but it forms our behavior. Another thing, don't bring up, don't mention, or don't be distracted by what Caucasians do, what whites do. That's not what we're talking about. This is not Islam in white America. This is not Islam we're talking about Islam in black America. That's why I'm keeping this sort of focus. I don't, I always hear these arguments. Oh, well, white people consume more rap music than we do. That's because it's more of them. It's numerically more of them. And so what if they do? If this man can if this man can drink something and it has a worse effect, it has a worse effect on his body than another man who drinks the same thing and it doesn't affect his body as bad, then that one man who has the worst effect, he has to not drink that thing, that substance or that juice or whatever it is. And it is what it is. A good example, I didn't want to say it, like alcohol. If a guy is bigger and thicker, he can drink a beer and he can hold it. If a person is skinny and they drink it, they say it hits the blood quicker. Maybe he has a faster metabolism or whatever the case may be. So when we as a community or when we as a group engage a certain type of poison or intoxicant, it affects our system more. And there's a lot more to be said about that because it can be argued that up until relatively recently, whites have had more examples about what they could be. So when they listen to the rap, they can engage it, be entertained by it, but they also had other role models to aspire towards. Whereas for the young man, the young black man in the ghetto, in the hood, when he sees the rapper made it big, that becomes his hero. He doesn't have anything else competing with that in terms of what he wants to become. I experienced this. I remember I shared this before too. I experienced how I gave a test to my students years ago. And I remember asking the boys every year, middle school boys, what do you all want to be? What do you all want to do? And all of them said rap, basketball, or football all the time. It's like sixth, seventh grade. And I used to play with them like during gym time. None of them were any good. And there was only one boy who said he wanted to be like an archaeologist, I believe. He was the only one. I mean, so this is out of about like 100 boys. But anyway, so this culture, this trend in our culture, or this trend in black culture, it takes the most despicable elements of our behavior. It takes the elements that have corroded our families, corroded our neighborhoods, corroded our academic performance. Again, drugs. We know how drugs have destroyed communities. We know how the selling of drugs, despite whatever the law was, whether those laws were just or unjust, we know that they've gotten rid of so many of our fathers. We know, everyone knows about the destructive nature of just taking life. These things are prevalent in our community, but we have a culture that celebrates. We have a culture that celebrates the destruction of our own people. And we cannot point to one thing of merit, of lasting value that we can say has been produced for the benefit of our community based upon rap culture, ghetto culture, hood culture. We have the proliferation of the baby mama phenomena. Baby mama is a term now that came in a rap first. Baby Daddy was the first song that I remember. And then I remember 3-6 Mafia with Baby Mama. And these things, we rap them and pop and dance to them. The proliferation of the STDs or STIs, whatever they call them now, in our communities, affecting our women at huge rates. When we were in Milwaukee, this is when I tested that group of students. They came out with a report. They did a blood drive out of high school. They had to give the blood back. Or they throw it away, not give it back, but they had to throw all of the blood away. All of the blood was contaminated with diseases. Even when you go to places like a few years ago, Howard University. Now, Howard is an achievement of Black excellence, but they're having these STD breakouts because of sexual immorality. This culture, and it can be argued, again, I'm not talking about any other group right now. I'm talking about the jahiliyyah, or the polytheistic behavior that we can see today amongst our people. It can be argued that Black culture is hyper sex driven, materialistic, but we see our neighborhoods decimated. And we celebrate, we say, oh, this rapper bought 10 houses on his block. That's small stuff. I have friends who do that, regular guys who do that. But we have a culture of men, women too, who make millions of dollars and who have millions of people who are influenced by them. But they don't do anything of lasting value. There's nothing being done of lasting value to construct and to build up our people. Now, it's not just Black hood culture. I would say it's just our Black culture, period. We just had Beyonce come to Atlanta. And I said this a few years ago when I was giving footballs at the Atlanta Masjid. I never seen Black women dress up like cowgirls my whole life. That was never a thing. Now Black women are all cowgirls. Now they got cow hats and cow this. And come on, what does this tell you? I'm not even knocking the fact that it shows you. I'm not knocking the fact that people accept new styles or new trends, whatever. Somebody bought me this hat. I would have never bought this Kufi before. When he bought it, I said, oh, it looks nice. I put it on as a gift. Okay, fine. It's okay to accept things new, But the fact that a whole demographic of people can have their behavior and sensitivity changed by a star, or what they call them in this society, an idol, lets you know that we live in a culture. Now, this is America, period. We live in a culture of idolatry. We live in an idolatrous culture. And one person can send out a signal and change the behavior of a whole group of women, or a whole group of men, or a whole group of boys, or a whole group of girls. This is something that we have to be aware of. And I ask you, what have we seen? What have we been able to locate? What can we identify as the redeeming value of any of this? What has black culture, I'm talking about black popular culture, what does it produce for us? We are no longer we are at the bottom of education. They say in a decade or more, black wealth, black net worth will be at zero. So we're definitely not advancing in terms of business. We are leading in terms of the contraction of new diseases. We still lead in abortions. We don't show out to vote. Our political efficacy is nothing. So every real category that would indicate social progress, we're either at the lowest rank or non-existent. Yet at the same time, when we look at popular behavior, popular trends, the popular influences that are dominant over our life, we can see very clearly that none of the dominant influences that are over our life have any aim or interest to lift us up as individuals, as families, and as communities. And this is the equivalent. We have become a polytheistic people. We will claim Christianity, we will claim whatever, but our spirit is being shaped by the polytheistic influence in this society.